Good morning, students. Today I'm going to show you one of the ways that you might consider making your poster for the week using Photoshop and an image that I've taken with my phone. So as you can see back here, similarly to last week, I've got my white piece of paper as a backdrop, and that's what I've used to generate my photo. So let's get started. All right, so I'm going to open Photoshop and I'm going to set things up at 8.5 by 11 inches for my size. The reason being that that's the size of a regular piece of printer paper. So that's what's going to work for printing later. Okay, so I want to drag, I've got my image that I took on my desktop. I'm going to drag that in. And you'll notice when you do that, it puts this little blue X over top. So I'm just going to click the check mark and place that file. And then I can see down here, if you look on my layers menu, that there's a little area that's got an icon on there. That makes it uneditable. So I just need to right click and click rasterize layer. And now I'm able to fully edit that. So what I'm going to do here is just scale this up so that my figure is the dominant subject in the image. So I'm just going to use scale tool, which I have available from Move Tool when I have this Show Transform Controls button selected. So now I've got my image. I'm just going to quickly push the brightness contrast on that a little bit. So I'm just going to push the brightness a wee bit. And I think that's a touch better. All right, now let's go ahead and import another graphic here. I've got this heart that I pulled off the web. I like the way that it looked, this balloon heart, because it already had sort of a nice three-dimensional quality to it. So that's what I'm going to use. Notice what happened when I went to delete. It said it wouldn't let me. So that's because of that little icon there, again, I mentioned earlier. So I right-click, rasterize, delete, and I just used magic wand in order to delete that the background space. Okay, I'm just going to deselect that. Now I actually want my heart to face the other way. So I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and flip horizontal. And you'll notice that it just flipped the heart so that it's oriented in the other direction. I just think that's going to work a bit better for this image, this composition. And I'm going to shrink that heart down so that it's a bit more of an appropriate size here for the workspace that I've got. So there you go. All right, moving on, we're going to grab some typography, some typeface here. And I've already selected a font that I like. So I'm going to click that and make my letter I, and I'm going to do it again down low here and click on type and write, for mine, I'm going to write frontline workers. Okay, so you can see where I'm going with this, I think. So now I'm just going to scale that typography so that it feels right. Okay, and I'll do the same with my letter I. So I just have to click on that I layer. I'm going to scale that one up. And I might give it a tiny tilt just because we've got a bit of a tilt on our heart. So maybe just to kind of balance that, I'm just going to tilt it a little bit and scale it up some more. All right, so we're almost there. We've almost got something. Lastly, I just want to add a little bit of detail to this. So I'm going to go to Layer, Layer Style, and Drop Shadow. Okay, and I've already kind of been playing with the drop shadow settings, so just gonna, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just gonna kind of tinker with some of those settings to get it to where I feel comfortable with that style. I'm gonna say okay, and you'll notice down on the tool menu here, or sorry, on the layer menu, I've now got a drop shadow underneath my eye layer. I can right click on that, click to copy layer style, and then I'm gonna go down and do the same thing on my frontline workers. I'm gonna right click, and now I'm going to paste layer style, and you'll notice that same drop shadow has appeared here. Okay. Lastly, I'm looking at the eye and I'm thinking it doesn't quite match the heart, so maybe I'll do one more effect. So I'm going to go back to layer and layer style, and bevel emboss. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. Notice what it did to the heart, so I'm just going to cancel that. Go to my frontline workers, or let's do my eye layer, and same thing, layer, layer style, bevel emboss. Okay, now that's looking pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and accept that because I think I'm running out of time on my film. So essentially,